She sent a flirty text to a cold black CEO by mistake. 5 minutes later, he was at her door. Lennox Hayes sat in her apartment, glass of wine in hand, trying to work up the courage to text Thaddeus from accounting. They'd been flirting for weeks at Sterling Financial, and tonight she decided to be bold. She typed out the message. "I can't stop thinking about you. The way you looked at me today made my heart race. Want to come over and continue what we started?" Her roommate Sloane cheered her on. "Yes, send it. Be brave." Lennox hit send before she could overthink it. Then her phone buzzed immediately with a response. "Who is this?" Lennox's stomach dropped. She looked at the recipient name. Not Thaddeus Reynolds, accounting. Dashiell Montgomery, CEO. "Oh my God," Lennox whispered, her face draining of color. "Oh my God, I just sent a flirty text to the CEO, to Dashiell Montgomery. Sloane, I'm going to be fired." Wait, the Dashiell Montgomery? The cold, terrifying CEO who fired 3 people last month for being late to a meeting? Yes, him. The man who literally never smiles. Who everyone's terrified of. I just sent him a text about making my heart race. Her phone buzzed again. "I have your employment file. Lennox Hayes, Marketing Department. I'll be there in 5 minutes. We need to discuss this mistake in person. Your address is in the system." "He's coming here!" Lennox shrieked. "In 5 minutes! How does he even have access to my address? That's a privacy violation." "He's the CEO. He probably has access to everything. Lennox, what are you going to do? Die of embarrassment? Beg for my job? I don't know." Exactly 5 minutes later, there was a knock at the door. Lennox opened it to find Dashiell Montgomery standing in her hallway, looking nothing like the cold CEO she'd expected. He was tall, black, maybe late 30s, devastatingly handsome in an expensive suit. His expression was unreadable as he held up his phone showing her text. "Explain," he said simply, his deep voice sending involuntary shivers down Lennox's spine. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Montgomery. It was meant for someone else. Thaddeus from accounting. I mixed up the contacts because I don't have a good excuse. It was an accident. Please don't fire me." "You meant to send this to Thaddeus Reynolds, the man who's engaged?" Lennox's mortification deepened. "He's engaged?" "As of last week. Apparently you missed the office-wide email with his engagement announcement." Dashiell studied her, really studied her, and Lennox became acutely aware that she was in yoga pants and an oversized sweater, her blonde hair in a messy bun, no makeup, holding a wine glass at 9 p.m. on a Friday. "This is humiliating," she muttered. "For you or me?" Dashiell asked, and was that amusement in his voice? "You sent a mistaken flirty text. I drove across town to confront an employee about it. I'm not sure which of us should be more embarrassed. You drove here to fire me in person? I drove here because someone was bold enough to send me a text like that, and I was intrigued. Then I realized it was a mistake, and I was disappointed. Then I decided to come anyway, because I wanted to meet the woman brave enough or drunk enough to be so direct. I'm not drunk, just mortified. You're also beautiful, apparently single despite pursuing an engaged man. And you work in my marketing department doing work I've never noticed. That's about to change. Lennox Hayes, starting Monday, you're being transferred to my executive team as my new marketing strategist." "What? Why?" "Because anyone bold enough to send that text, even by accident, has more initiative than my current team. Consider this your unexpected promotion. Don't make me regret it." He turned to leave, then paused. "And, Ms. Hayes, next time you want to send a flirty text, make sure it's to someone who's actually available and interested." Are you available and interested? The question escaped before Lennox could stop it, emboldened by mortification and wine. Dashiell's lips curved into the first smile she'd ever seen from him. "We'll see. Monday morning, 7 a.m., my office. Don't be late." After he left, Sloane stared at Lennox in shock. Did the terrifying CEO just promote you because of a mistaken flirty text? "I think so. I have no idea what just happened. But Sloane, I might have just accidentally flirted my way into the job of a lifetime, or the biggest mistake of my career. I can't tell which." Hello, my Stop Racism family. Thank you for tuning in today. Before we dive deeper into this beautiful love story, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Drop your country and state in the comments below. Also, I'd love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the story so far? Do you believe love can truly conquer prejudice? Let us know in the comments. We love reading them. And trust me, your words motivate us to keep making these videos. Let's make this video reach at least 50 comments. Your support means the world to us, and it drives us to create even more meaningful content for you. So don't forget to comment, share, and keep spreading love. Monday morning, Lennox arrived at Dashiell's office at 6:55 a.m., determined to prove she deserved this unexpected promotion. His assistant Preston looked her up and down with barely concealed skepticism. "You're the mistaken text girl? He's expecting you. Good luck. You'll need it." Inside Dashiell's massive corner office, he sat at his desk reviewing documents, looking every bit the cold, intimidating CEO everyone feared. "You're early? Good. Sit." Lennox sat, trying to project confidence she didn't feel. "I've reviewed your work from marketing. Your campaign proposals are creative but buried under terrible leadership. Your supervisor Sutton has been taking credit for your ideas. That ends now. As my strategist, you report directly to me. Your first project is rebranding our financial services division. I want innovative ideas, not the corporate nonsense my current team produces. You have 1 week. 1 week? Mr. Montgomery, that's impossible. Then you're not the bold person who sent that text. Prove me wrong or prove me right, Ms. Hayes. Your choice." The challenge in his voice ignited something competitive in Lennox. "I'll have preliminary concepts to you in 3 days." "Good. Now, we need to discuss Friday night." Lennox's stomach dropped. "I apologized. I'm not looking for more apologies. I'm establishing boundaries. You work for me now. Direct report. That creates power dynamics that complicate any personal interest. So we're keeping this professional. Understood?" "Understood." "Sir, can I ask why you really promoted me?" "It wasn't just the text. No, it was your reaction when I showed up. You didn't cower or make excuses. You were mortified, but honest. That's rare in my world. People either fear me or want something from me. You just wanted to not be fired for an honest mistake. I respect that. People fear you because you're cold and intimidating. I'm cold because I'm a black CEO in finance. I'm scrutinized constantly. One mistake and people question whether I deserve my position. Being cold, being perfect, being untouchable. That's survival. But Ms. Hayes, that text? For 5 minutes before I realized it was a mistake. I felt wanted. Not for my position or money. Just wanted. That's addictive." The vulnerability in his admission surprised Lennox. "I can't imagine what that's like. Being constantly judged." "You will. Working directly for me. People will make assumptions. They'll say you're sleeping with me to get ahead. They'll question whether you earned this position. Some will add racial elements. White woman using a black man for advancement. Can you handle that? I earned this position through work you've seen. Anyone who suggests otherwise can deal with my rebuttals. Mr. Montgomery, I'm not here because of that text. I'm here because you saw potential. I intend to prove it. Call me Dashiell when we're alone. Mr. Montgomery is for show. Then call me Lennox. Ms. Hayes makes me feel like I'm in trouble. You might be. In trouble of a different kind. Now go. You have 3 days. Impress me." Over the next 3 days, Lennox worked obsessively. She created innovative campaigns that reimagined Sterling Financial's brand entirely. When she presented to Dashiell on Wednesday, his expression remained neutral throughout. "This is good. Better than good. Implement it. You've proven yourself, Lennox. Thank you." "Dashiell, can I ask you something personal?" "Depends on the question. Why did you really come to my apartment Friday?" "The truth." He was quiet for a moment. "Because I'm tired of being alone. Tired of cold professionalism. That text, even sent by mistake, reminded me that warmth exists. I wanted to see who'd sent it. Who'd been bold enough to express desire so directly. And when I saw you, flustered, beautiful, genuine, I wanted to know you, that's the truth. And now, knowing it was a mistake? Now I'm wondering if mistakes can become something intentional." Working as Dashiell's direct report was intense. He was demanding, brilliant, and maintained strict professionalism despite the undercurrent of attraction between them. But the office gossip was exactly as he'd predicted. "Did you hear? Lennox Hayes is now Montgomery's strategist. We all know how she got that position. Sleeping her way to the top. Classic." Lennox's former supervisor Sutton was particularly hostile. She cornered Lennox in the break room one afternoon. You think sending flirty texts to the CEO is professional behavior? Everyone knows about your little accident. You're an embarrassment to this company. My work speaks for itself. My campaigns have increased engagement by 40% in 3 weeks. What have your campaigns done lately, Sutton? Don't get cocky. He'll get bored with you eventually. Then where will you be? After Sutton left, Lennox's friend Waverly found her near tears. Don't let them get to you. You earned this position. Did I? Waverly, I sent an accidental flirty text and got promoted. How does that not look exactly like they're saying? Because Dashiell reviewed your work history first. He saw your talent before promoting you. The text just got his attention. That's not sleeping your way up. That's being noticed. Meanwhile, Dashiell dealt with his own complications. His business partner Granger confronted him during a board meeting. This new strategist, the blonde you promoted. People are talking, Dashiell. They're saying you're involved with her. My personal life is irrelevant to my professional competence. Is it personal or professional? Because if you're dating an employee, I'm not dating anyone. Lennox is my strategist because she's talented, nothing more. But Granger's expression was skeptical. The board is concerned. A black CEO and a young white female employee? The optics are complicated. If this becomes inappropriate, it affects company reputation. Then the board needs to trust my judgment. Lennox stays. That evening, Dashiell called Lennox into his office after everyone had left. We need to talk. About us. There is no us. You made that clear. Professional boundaries. I'm trying to maintain boundaries. But Lennox, it's becoming difficult. Every day you impress me with your work. Every meeting, I find myself watching you instead of the presentations. Every night, I think about that text. About what if it hadn't been a mistake. It was a mistake. I meant it for Thaddeus, who's engaged and unworthy of you. But what if you sent it again? Intentionally this time? To me? You're my boss. You said power dynamics make it complicated. They do. Which is why I'm offering you a choice. You can transfer to another department with equal position and pay. No loss of status. Or you can stay here, continue reporting to me, and we maintain strictly professional boundaries despite what we both feel. Your choice. What do you feel? I feel like that accidental text was fate. Like you stumbling into my life was meant to happen. I feel attracted to you in ways that are highly unprofessional. I feel like I'm breaking my own rules by admitting this. What do you feel? The same, all of it. But Dashiell, if I stay and we pursue this, people will destroy me. They'll say I'm using you, that I'm sleeping with my boss for advancement. And the racial aspect. I'm white, you're black. Some people will make that ugly. I know. Which is why this decision has to be yours. I'm offering you an out. Take it or stay, but decide tonight. Lennox thought about her career, her reputation, the gossip already circulating. Then she thought about Dashiell. Brilliant, vulnerable beneath his cold exterior, making her feel things she'd never felt. I'm staying, but we do this right. We keep it professional at work. If we explore this personally, it's outside the office. No one can say I'm sleeping my way up, because we won't be sleeping together at all until I've proven myself completely separate from any personal relationship. How long? 6 months. 6 months of me proving my value professionally. Then, if we still feel this way, we can consider something personal. Can you wait 6 months? Dashiell smiled. That rare, genuine smile. For you, I'd wait longer. But Lennox, 6 months of working closely with you while wanting you, that's going to be torture. Good. Torture builds character. The 6 months were indeed torture. Working closely with Dashiell every day, seeing his brilliant mind, his rare smiles, his moments of vulnerability, Lennox fell harder each week. And Dashiell, watching Lennox transform Sterling Financial's marketing, seeing her strength as she faced office gossip with grace, was falling equally hard. They maintained rigid professionalism at work, but their late-night strategy sessions grew increasingly personal. Tell me about your family, Dashiell asked one evening while reviewing campaign data. My mother Vivienne lives in Connecticut. Old money family, very traditional. She's horrified I'm working in finance instead of marrying well. What about yours? My mother Cordelia worked 2 jobs to send me to business school. She's proud but worries constantly. I'm her success story. Every decision I make reflects on her sacrifices. That's a lot of pressure. It's reality. I'm not just a CEO. I'm proof that black men can succeed in spaces designed to exclude us. I carry that weight every day. Does it ever get exhausting, being a symbol? Constantly. Which is why that text was so refreshing. For one moment, someone wanted me as just a man. Not a CEO, not a representation, just me. I do want you, as just a man. But Dashiell, I also see the CEO, the representation, all of it. You're not just one thing. You're complex and brilliant, and that's what I'm falling for. Past tense? You've already fallen? Haven't you? Completely. But we have 4 more months of professionalism. I'm counting days. The office dynamics shifted as Lennox's competence became undeniable. Her campaigns won industry awards. Revenue increased dramatically. Even skeptics had to acknowledge she was exceptional. But Dashiell's sister Imani remained concerned. She confronted him during Sunday dinner. This strategist you won't stop talking about. Lennox. Brother, are you involved with her? Not yet. We've agreed to wait 6 months. 6 months of what? Building tension? Dashiell, she's white. Your employee. This could destroy your reputation. What are you thinking? I'm thinking I've spent my entire adult life building reputation. Being perfect. Maintaining cold professionalism. I'm tired, Imani. Lennox sees me. Actually sees me. That's rare. Seeing you doesn't make her right for you. What happens when your worlds collide? When her privileged background clashes with your reality? When society judges your interracial relationship? Brother, I'm worried. I appreciate concern. But Imani, I'm not avoiding love because it's complicated. Yes, we're different races, different backgrounds. Yes, she was my employee, but we're navigating it carefully. She insisted on 6 months of proving herself professionally before we pursue anything personal. That's integrity or strategy. What if she's playing you? Building trust before revealing true intentions. She's not. I've watched her work, her character, her strength. Lennox is genuine. Give her a chance before judging. Meanwhile, Lennox faced her own family complications. Her mother, Vivienne, called after hearing about the promotion. Darling, people are saying you're involved with your boss, a black CEO. Is this true? I work for him. That's all. Mother, my personal life is my own. But the implications, people will think you're using him for advancement. Or worse, that it's some kind of rebellion. It's neither. It's 2 people with professional respect potentially developing into something more. That's it. But the racial aspect is irrelevant. Mother, I care about Dashiell. If that bothers you, that's your prejudice, not my problem. The tension built over 6 months. Lennox and Dashiell grew closer, despite maintaining professional boundaries. The chemistry was undeniable. The connection deepened daily. Finally, 6 months to the day after their agreement, Dashiell called Lennox into his office at end of day. 6 months are up. You've proven yourself beyond question. Now, Lennox Hayes, would you like to have dinner with me? Not as strategist and CEO, as 2 people who've been waiting far too long to explore what this could be. Yes, absolutely yes. Where? My place. I'll cook. No public restaurants where we'll be photographed and analyzed. Just us. Is Friday night acceptable? Perfect. Dashiell, are we really doing this? We are, and I'm terrified and excited in equal measure. Same. See you Friday. Friday evening, Lennox arrived at Dashiell's penthouse, a stunning space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. He answered the door in jeans and a sweater, looking relaxed and different from the suited CEO she saw daily. You look beautiful, he said, taking in her simple dress. You look human. I've never seen you in casual clothes. I'm attempting domesticity. Fair warning, I'm a mediocre cook. This might be a disaster. I'm willing to risk it. Over dinner, which was actually quite good, they talked about everything they'd avoided discussing for 6 months. Tell me about your marriage, Lennox said. I know you were married before. What happened? Vivienne. Yes, same name as your mother, different person. And I married young. I was building my career. She wanted a society husband who attended parties and events. When I became CEO and worked constantly, she felt neglected. She had an affair with my business partner at the time. The divorce was brutal. She took half my assets and married him within months. I'm sorry, that's awful. It taught me to be careful, to keep emotional distance. Then you sent that text and showed me what I'd been missing. Genuine connection. What about you? Serious relationships. 1. College boyfriend named Preston, who seemed perfect until I realized he was perfect because he was completely fake. He told me what I wanted to hear, became who I wanted him to be. When I finally saw the real him, there was nothing there. Just performance. And Thaddeus, the intended recipient? A mistaken judgment. I thought he was interested. Turned out he was just friendly, and I misread it. Embarrassing even without the engagement I didn't know about. So you accidentally texted me instead. Best mistake you ever made? Possibly the best mistake either of us made. Dashiell, can I ask you something? Anything. That night you showed up at my door. Were you really planning to confront me about the text? Or were you hoping it wasn't a mistake? He smiled. Both? I was prepared to be professional if it was an error. But part of me hoped someone had actually sent that text intentionally. Finding out it was for someone else, that was disappointing. Then I saw you, and disappointment became opportunity. I thought, maybe the mistake was fate. Maybe it was. Dashiell, I'm terrified of this. Of us. We work together. You're my boss. People already assume the worst. If we actually date, then they'll say they were right. That you used your body to get ahead. That I'm taking advantage of power dynamics. The racial aspect will add another layer. Assumptions that I'm fetishizing white women or you're using me for advancement. It's going to be ugly. And you're okay with that? I'm tired of living for others' opinions. Lennox, I've been cold and professional for years. It's lonely. You make me feel warm, human. That's worth gossip and judgment. What if it affects your position? The board could use this against you. Let them try. My performance is impeccable. Our relationship, if that's what we're calling this, doesn't change my professional competence. And Lennox, you've proven yourself separately. Your work stands alone. Anyone who suggests otherwise is wrong. So we're doing this? Actually dating? We are. Starting now. He reached across the table and took her hand. Lennox Hayes, will you be my girlfriend? Knowing all the complications, facing all the judgment, dealing with all the assumptions, will you choose this anyway? Yes, I choose this. I choose you. Complications and all. They spent the evening talking, laughing, finally allowing the attraction they'd suppressed for 6 months to exist openly. When Dashiell kissed her goodnight at the door, it felt like something precious beginning. See you Monday, Lennox said. See you Monday. And Lennox, thank you for that mistaken text, for waiting 6 months, for choosing this despite everything. You're remarkable. So are you. Good night, Dashiell. Walking to her car, Lennox felt lighter than she had in months. She'd found something real with someone remarkable. Yes, it was complicated. Yes, they'd faced challenges. But for the first time in her life, Lennox felt like she was exactly where she was meant to be. And it had all started with one mistaken text. How's this story hitting you so far? Tell us in the comments. If you're loving it, type 1. If not, type 0. We want to know what you think. They tried to keep the relationship private at first, but it's sterling financial. Nothing stayed secret long. A week after their first date, Sutton confronted Lennox in the parking garage. I knew it. You've been sleeping with Montgomery. That's how you got promoted. Everyone was right about you. My relationship with Dashiell started after I'd proven myself professionally. And Sutton, you're just angry because my campaigns are successful while yours failed. Your campaigns are successful because he's biased. He's promoting your work because you're sleeping with him. No, my work is successful because it's good. The industry awards I've won, those weren't because of Dashiell. They were earned. So before you accuse me of sleeping my way up, check your own insecurities. But Sutton wasn't the only problem. The board called Dashiell in for a meeting led by board member Flint. We need to discuss your relationship with Ms. Hayes. It's creating concerns about favoritism, sexual harassment, inappropriate power dynamics. Lennox and I waited 6 months after her promotion before pursuing a personal relationship. During that time, she proved herself completely separate from any personal connection. Her performance speaks for itself. But you promoted her initially based on a flirtatious text. I promoted her based on reviewing her work history and seeing talent being wasted under poor supervision. The text simply brought her to my attention. Gentlemen, if you have concerns about my professional judgment, point to actual performance failures. Otherwise, my personal life is not board business. Granger spoke up. It becomes board business when it affects company reputation. A black CEO dating a young white female subordinate. Some shareholders are uncomfortable with the optics. Then those shareholders need to examine their prejudices. Lennox is not my subordinate in our personal relationship. She's my equal, and anyone uncomfortable with interracial relationships can divest. I won't end my relationship to satisfy their racism. The board vote was split, but Dashel retained support, barely. The message was clear. His relationship with Lennox was being watched. Meanwhile, Lennox faced her own challenges. Her mother, Vivienne, showed up unannounced at her apartment. I needed to see if the rumors were true. You're actually dating him? Your black boss? His name is Dashel, and yes, we're dating. Mother, I love him. Love? You barely know him. Lennox, this is career suicide. People will always question your achievements now. They'll say you slept your way up. Let them say it. I know the truth. I earned everything before we started dating. Mother, your concern isn't about my career. It's about race. Admit it. Vivienne looked uncomfortable. I'm not racist. But darling, interracial relationships face challenges. Society judges them. I'm trying to protect you. From what? Happiness? Because Dashel makes me happy. Genuinely happy. If you can't accept that, that's your failing, not mine. After Vivienne left in tears, Waverly came over to comfort Lennox. That was harsh with your mother. She needed to hear it. Everyone keeps telling me to end this relationship to avoid judgment. But Waverly, I'm tired of living for others' approval. Dashel is worth the fight. I'm glad. You deserve happiness. How is he handling the pressure? Stoically. He's dealt with racism and judgment his whole career. This is just another layer. But I worry it's wearing on him. That evening, Dashel and Lennox met at his penthouse to decompress. The board is watching us, he said, waiting for a mistake to use against me. My mother called crying because someone at her church made comments about her son dating a white woman. This is affecting everyone. Should we stop? Take a break until things calm down? No, because things won't calm down. We're an interracial couple in high-profile positions. We'll always face scrutiny. The question is whether we face it together or separately. I choose together. So do I. But Dashel, I hate that you're facing this because of me. I'm not facing this because of you. I'm facing this because society is still prejudiced. That's not your fault. Don't take responsibility for others' racism. 3 months into their public relationship, disaster struck. A business magazine published an exposé. Sterling Financial CEO's questionable promotion. Romance or advancement? The article detailed everything. The mistaken text, the immediate promotion, their relationship timeline. It questioned Dashel's judgment, Lennox's motives, and included interviews with anonymous sources. Clearly Sutton and other disgruntled employees, suggesting favoritism and inappropriate conduct. They're destroying us, Lennox said, reading the article with tears streaming. Dashel, this is my fault. That stupid text is being weaponized by people who want to discredit me. Lennox, this isn't about the text. It's about a black CEO succeeding and people wanting to bring me down. You're just the angle they found. But your reputation will survive if we handle this correctly. We need to do interviews. Tell our story honestly. Show the timeline, your achievements, the fact that we did everything ethically. Lennox, we fight this together. They scheduled interviews with reputable journalists, presenting documentation of Lennox's work history, the 6-month wait, her independent achievements. Slowly, the narrative shifted from scandal to love story. But the damage was done professionally. The board called another vote on Dashel's leadership. This controversy has affected company value, Flint argued. Shareholders are nervous. Some are calling for new leadership. Company value dropped because of manufactured scandal, not actual performance issues. Our numbers are strong. The board needs to decide. Are you judging me on results or on prejudice about my personal life? The vote was close. Dashel kept his position by 3 votes. Meanwhile, Lennox faced her own professional crisis. HR Director Rosalind called her in. Some board members want you transferred or terminated. They see you as the source of controversy. I've won 3 industry awards this year. My campaigns have increased revenue by 60%. What justification is there for termination beyond prejudice? There isn't one, which is why I'm fighting for you. But Lennox, you need to understand, Being with Dashiell will always create scrutiny. Can you handle that long term? I can if the company supports my right to a personal life separate from my professional achievements. That evening, both exhausted from fighting, Dashiell and Lennox met at his penthouse. Maybe we should break up, Lennox said quietly. Not because I want to, but because this is destroying your career. Our careers, and I refuse. Lennox, I've worked my entire life to get where I am. But what's the point of success if I'm alone? If I'm too scared to love someone because people might judge? I won't live that way anymore. But the board, the shareholders, the constant scrutiny are tests of whether we're strong enough for this. Lennox, I love you. Actually love you. I'm not giving that up because people are prejudiced. I love you too, but I'm scared. What if this gets worse? What if they do force you out? Then I'll start something else. Build something new, but I'll build it with you beside me. That's the life I want. They held each other, both terrified, but committed to fighting for their relationship despite every obstacle. The turning point came from unexpected allies. Dashiell's friend Callum, a journalist, investigated the leaked information and discovered that Granger had orchestrated the expose. He's trying to force you out, Callum explained. He wants CEO position. The article, the board pressure. It's all Granger manipulating behind the scenes. With this information, Dashiell called an emergency board meeting. He presented evidence of Granger's manipulation, his attempts to discredit Dashiell, his meetings with journalists feeding negative stories. Granger has been undermining my leadership for months, not because of performance issues, but because he wants my position. He used my relationship with Lennox as an angle to create controversy. The board was shocked. Granger was forced to resign, and without his influence, support for Dashiell solidified. I owe you an apology, Flint said after the meeting. I questioned your judgment based on prejudice, not facts. Your relationship with Ms. Hayes was handled ethically. I was wrong. With Granger gone, the professional atmosphere improved, but Lennox still faced personal challenges, specifically her mother. Vivian showed up at Sterling Financial, demanding to see Lennox. I've been thinking about our last conversation, about what I said about Dashiell. Lennox, I was wrong. I let my prejudices speak instead of listening to your heart. Can we talk? Over coffee, Vivian apologized. I grew up in a different time with different values, but that's no excuse for racism. Dashiell makes you happy. I can see that. I'm sorry I couldn't see it before. I'd like to meet him properly. Get to know the man my daughter loves. Really? Mother, what changed? I talked to your Aunt Cordelia. Different Cordelia than Dashiell's mother. She reminded me that love is rare, that dismissing it because of race is letting prejudice win. I don't want to lose my daughter because I'm small-minded. Meeting Vivian was awkward but meaningful. Dashiell handled her subtle prejudices with grace, and by the end of the evening, Vivian admitted he was rather wonderful. Your mother called me rather wonderful, Dashiell told Lennox later. That's basically glowing approval from someone like her. She's trying. It's a start. Meeting Dashiell's mother, Cordelia, was equally significant. She'd been skeptical of Lennox, worried about her son being used by another white woman. My son has been hurt before, Cordelia said bluntly. I need to know you're serious, that this isn't some rebellion or experiment. I love your son. Completely. Mrs. Montgomery, I know I can't understand his experiences as a black man, but I listen, I learn, I support him. That's all I can offer. Genuine love and partnership. That's enough. Lennox, welcome to the family. With family acceptance came new stability. Dashiell and Lennox's relationship strengthened through the trials. They'd faced professional scrutiny, family prejudice, societal judgment, and survived together. We did it, Lennox said one evening. We made it through the worst. We made it through this round. There will be more challenges. But Lennox, I'm not worried. We're strong enough. How can you be sure? Because we've already survived everything people threw at us. What's left to fear? The future, marriage, kids, growing old together. Those aren't fears. Those are goals. Lennox Hayes, are you thinking about forever? I might be. Are you? Definitely. Want to make it official? 1 year after the mistaken text, Dashiell planned a proposal that honored their unconventional beginning. He invited Lennox to his office after hours, ostensibly to review quarterly reports. When she arrived, she found the office transformed. candles everywhere, her favorite music playing softly. What's all this? A recreation. Of the night, everything changed. Lennox, exactly 1 year ago, you sent me a text meant for someone else. A flirty, bold text that should have been embarrassing. Instead, it was the best accident of my life. That text brought you into my world, made me drive to your apartment, made me promote you because I saw potential buried under poor leadership, made me fall in love with you over 6 months of professional restraint, made me fight for us when everyone said we were a mistake. We've faced judgment, scrutiny, professional attacks, family prejudice. We've been called inappropriate, opportunistic, a scandal. But Lennox, loving you is the best decision I've ever made. You make me happy. Actually happy? That's worth every complication. He knelt, pulling out a ring. I can't promise our relationship will be easy. We'll face racism, assumptions, people questioning us. But I can promise to fight for us every day, to love you completely, to build a life that honors both our truths. Lennox Hayes, will you marry me? Will you keep choosing us despite every obstacle? Will you be my wife? Lennox was crying. Yes. God, yes. Dashiell, I love you so much. Yes, I'll marry you. I love you too. And Lennox, I'm keeping that original text, framing it, putting it in our home, because that mistake was the best thing that ever happened to me. That's embarrassing and romantic in equal measure. That's us. Embarrassing, romantic, unconventional, and perfect. They married 6 months later, a beautiful ceremony that blended both their worlds. Vivian cried happy tears. Cordelia welcomed Lennox officially into the family. Even skeptical co-workers attended, finally accepting their relationship. In her vows, Lennox said, Dashiell, I sent you a text by mistake. A flirty, inappropriate text meant for someone completely wrong for me. You showed up at my door 5 minutes later, and my life changed forever. You challenged me, supported me, loved me through every complication. You've taught me that love requires courage to face judgment, to challenge prejudice, to choose each other despite every obstacle. I promise to keep being brave enough to choose you. Every day, every challenge, every moment. I love you, permanently. In his vows, Dashiell said, Lennox, when I received your text, I thought it was a mistake that would lead nowhere. Instead, it led to everything. You've shown me that coldness isn't strength, vulnerability is. That success means nothing without someone to share it with. That love across every divide is possible when both people are willing to fight for it. I promise to keep fighting for us, to love you despite every judgment, to build a life that honors both our truths. I love you, completely. 5 years later, they'd built something extraordinary. Dashiell still led Sterling Financial, now with Lennox as Chief Marketing Officer after proving herself completely. They had twin daughters, Harper and Sloane, who were growing up understanding that love transcended every category society constructed. How did you and Daddy meet? 5-year-old Harper asked one evening. Well, Lennox began with a smile. Mommy sent Daddy a very silly text by mistake. A text meant for someone else. What did it say? It said that Mommy thought Daddy was handsome and wanted to spend time with him. But I didn't know it was Daddy I was texting. I thought it was someone named Thaddeus. That's silly. It was. But Daddy got the text and came to Mommy's apartment 5 minutes later. 5 minutes? That's fast. It is fast, Dashiell added. But when you get a text like that, you don't wait. You show up. You take a chance. And sometimes, mistakes become the best things that ever happened. What's the lesson? Sloane asked seriously. The lesson is that sometimes the wrong thing leads to the right thing. Mommy's mistake brought us together, and we've spent every day since being grateful for that mistake. As the girls ran off to play, Dashiell pulled Lennox close. Can you believe it's been 6 years since that text? Barely. Sometimes I still can't believe you showed up at my door, that you promoted me, that you waited 6 months, that you fought for us. Best decisions I ever made. Though showing up at your apartment was risky. You could have called security. Instead, I fell in love with you. Dashiell, thank you. For what? For being brave enough to show up. For seeing potential in me. For fighting for us when everyone said we were wrong. For proving that love matters more than others' opinions. Thank you for sending that text. For being bold. Enough, even accidentally, to put yourself out there. For waiting 6 months. For choosing me despite every complication. I'd do it all again. Even the embarrassing parts. Especially the embarrassing parts. They make the best stories. How's this story hitting you so far? Tell us in the comments. If you're loving it, type 1. If not, type 0. We want to know what you think. 10 years after the mistaken text, Lennox and Dashiell had built a life that proved love could transcend every barrier. Dashiell had expanded Sterling Financial into one of the most successful firms in the country. Lennox had become a sought-after marketing expert, regularly speaking at conferences about ethical success in competitive industries. Their daughters were thriving. Harper wanted to be a civil rights lawyer. Sloan wanted to be a musician. Both understood that their parents' interracial marriage had faced challenges, but had also been a source of strength and teaching. They'd also started a foundation supporting diverse leadership in finance, helping young professionals from underrepresented backgrounds break into the industry. It was their way of ensuring that others wouldn't face the same barriers Dashiell had encountered. "We're making a difference," Lennox said during a foundation event. "Real, measurable difference. People who would have been excluded are now thriving because someone gave them a chance. Like someone gave you a chance after a mistaken text. Are you ever going to let me live that down? Never. That text is our origin story. I'm keeping it alive forever." At a gala celebrating their foundation's 10th anniversary, Dashiell gave a speech that brought Lennox to tears. 10 years ago, I received a text meant for someone else. A flirty, bold text from a woman I'd never met. I could have ignored it. Could have fired the person who sent it. Instead, I showed up at her door. I took a chance on her, and she changed my life. Lennox Hayes, now Lennox Montgomery, taught me that mistakes can become opportunities, that love requires courage to face judgment, that success means nothing without partnership, that fighting for what matters is always worth it. We've built this foundation on the principle that everyone deserves chances, regardless of background, that diversity makes us stronger, that love and partnership transcend every artificial boundary society constructs. We've proven it in our marriage. We're proving it through this foundation, and we'll keep proving it every day. To everyone here, thank you for supporting this mission, for believing that change is possible, for choosing courage over comfort. And to my wife, thank you for that mistaken text, for showing up at my door metaphorically every day since, for being brave enough to love me despite every complication. You're my everything. After the speech, Sloan approached with a question. "Daddy, do people still judge you and Mommy because you're different races?" "Sometimes. Less than they used to, but yes." "Does it hurt?" "It used to. Now it just reminds me that we still have work to do, that prejudice exists and needs to be challenged. But Harper, Sloan, we don't let others' prejudices define our love. We define our love. That's the power you have too." "We will," Harper promised. "We'll be brave like you and Mommy." As the evening ended and guests departed, Dashiell and Lennox stood together overlooking the city. "We did it," Lennox said. "We built something beautiful, despite every obstacle. We did. And it all started with one mistaken text, one moment of accidental boldness that led to intentional love. Lennox, I love our story. Every embarrassing, complicated, beautiful part of it. I love it too. I love you. And Dashiell, I'm so glad I sent that text to the wrong person, because the right person was you all along." They kissed as the city lights sparkled around them. Two people who'd started with a mistake and built a lifetime of intentional choosing, proving that sometimes the wrong text sent to the wrong person becomes exactly the right thing at exactly the right moment. A white woman had sent a flirty text to a cold black CEO by mistake. 5 minutes later, he was at her door, and they spent the rest of their lives proving that when you're brave enough to show up, to take chances, to choose love over fear and partnership over prejudice, anything becomes possible, including happily ever after. Their story became legendary, not just as a corporate romance, but as proof that love requires courage, that mistakes can become miracles, or that showing up matters more than being perfect, that choosing each other despite every obstacle is the bravest thing anyone can do. And it all started with one text. "I can't stop thinking about you. The way you looked at me today made my heart race. Want to come over and continue what we started?" Sent to the wrong person, who showed up anyway, and changed everything.